Welcome to Born Football TV. My name is Aaron Malolo, and before we go any further with this video, I'd like to urge you to subscribe. Yep, on your right here you should see a button written subscribe. Yep, go on and click that button. Yeah, you are doing well. Wonderful. Now if you come this side towards your left, you should see a like button there. Please press that button. Thank you very much. Welcome to the family. Of course, back to the game. Amazing weekend of football this past game week. Amazing games we saw, but for me the highlight, of course, of this weekend was the Manchester United and the Arsenal game. Fantastic game. The game was fast. The game had a high intensity. It was a box to box. Such an amazing game, and unfortunately I can't even advise you to go back and watch it, because football is not like soapies. You don't just go back and watch a repeat of 90 minutes of something that you already know the score for. So basically you can just go for extended highlights to see what was happening. A lot of positives from that game. Of course, Arsenal won 3-2, deservedly so, and also United, of course, they really brought their A game. For me, this game was fantastic, given the fact that these are two traditional Big Six clubs. They gave us, a high profile game. They gave us that which we expected. For me, it was an amazing game. Of course, Arsenal won, like I said, but as United didn't go into that game, of course, saying that I want to give United the Arsenal the 3 points. They went into that game as well looking for a win, and you could see also in the way they were playing that they were fighting Arsenal. This was a game for me. I watched the game. It was a box to box. Arsenal would have the ball, attack. United will get the ball and then also try, to attack, to open up spaces here and there. For me, a lot of positives for this game, even for United, even though they lost. Also, Rashford showed us his class. Rashford is becoming a problem for defenders, especially around those spaces where he scored that goal. You don't allow Rashford to shoot from that range. You don't allow Rashford to have the ball and have that much space that they gave him, because it's going to hurt you. Even seasons past, you give him space around that area, be sure that it's going to hurt you. So he has shown us his class. This is the Rashford we want to see. He has shown us that he's not a one-game wonder. He's continuing to actually score goals, score important goals for Manchester United. And also the way United played. Arsenal, of course, played better than United, but also United, you can see what Erik ten Hag is doing there. And one of the things also that you could see yesterday that was missing was the place of Casemiro. I mean, you have Xhaka, you have Thomas Partey, you have Odegaard. Of course, you want to have a midfield that will match up to that. Casemiro, of course, as a big player that he is, he needed to be in that game, especially because his combination with Eriksen has been amazing. He needed to be in that game. Nevertheless, he was not there. McTominay tried to close the gap. For me, United really played so well, but they were no match to Arsenal's class. You could see from the way Arsenal was playing that the motive was clear. We need the 3 points. Even when they came back from in the second half, these guys were on fire. They were pushing United to the limits. A lot of positives for Arsenal. Nketiah, this was a player that many people doubted that is he gonna be able to close the gap, or that Gabriel Jesus has left since he's injured. He has closed many of our mouths. Actually, many of us who doubted him, he has come out and actually proven himself. He's scoring important goals. He's able to make up space for himself. He's able to position himself. Positioning as a forward, for me, is one of the most important things. If you get your positioning right as a forward, as a striker, you have solved 50% of your problems. Now, if you check the big strikers, the likes of your Haaland, the likes of your Lewandowski, these are people who actually position themselves. Many of their goals are basically tap-ins. Just head here, tap in here. Why? Because they position themselves so well. I know sometimes we look down on tap-ins and all those things, but my perspective has basically changed, because without that player, there won't be a tap-in. No one will be able to tap in that ball. So Nketiah is mastering that He's mastering his position, which is a fantastic thing to do. And not just only his positioning. This is a player who's very skillful, who has the speed. So it's not only positioning that he has. This is basically a full-grown player for me, you know. And of course, Bukayo Saka always shows class. Now yesterday he gave me Riyad Mahrez type of vibes. You don't allow Bukayo Saka to cut in the way the United allowed him. The moment he starts to cut in like that, you know what Mahrez does when he cuts in. He just shoots and he will score a beautiful goal. That is what we saw. He almost scored a second goal. Why? Because they allowed him to cut in from the right side, to cut in like that. You are basically giving this guy, you are giving him space that he's not supposed to actually have. The same thing that they allowed Rashford to do. So a lot of positives in this game for me. Beautiful game, you know. Arsenal, even the post-match interview when they were talking to Zinchenko, it did say that, you know, when two big teams are playing, the intensity is high, the game is fast, you have to read the game faster than your opponent, which is basically what Arsenal were doing. They were a step ahead. And I think actually Arteta went to do his research now, because in the first game that United won against Arsenal 3-1, that is what Erik ten Hag did actually. He beat Arsenal in their own game. He was a step ahead of Arsenal. Arsenal had the ball, they had the position, but it was a step ahead. Any opportunity they got, they made sure to capitalize in that, you know. So for me, it's very important. You know, players like Zinchenko, they are very important. I did say in one of my videos earlier that now this is a player who has won the the league. Not one time or 2 times or 3 times, 4 times. And you could see before the game started when he was talking to the Arsenal squad, when he was talking to his fellow players, you know, he was encouraging them to tell them that, you know what, guys, we can do this. And of course, they had to listen to him because he has experience. He has won the league 4 times, you know, and it's a very fantastic game for me. And I'm also happy with how Arteta is handling the media, with how he's ending his post-match interviews, because you have to be, when you're at this stage of the league, you have to be careful. Of course, there's still a lot to play for. Arsenal still has a long way to go, but when you're at this stage, also as a manager, you have to be smart. You have to be wise of what you say, you know. You'd never hear Arteta saying, yeah, no, we want to win the league. It's always smart to say, no, we take it each day as it comes. We take each game as it comes, you know. We have to improve our squad. It's basically what Pep Guardiola said. Pep Guardiola in recent weeks has said in one of his post-match interviews that, no, we don't care about the league. We don't care about the Carabao. Let me tell you something. He lied. This is a person who has had 13 seasons. Out of those 13 seasons, he has won 10 leagues. So this guy has won the league 10 times in with 3 different clubs. He lied when he said he doesn't care about the league. He lied. It's just psychology. That is just psychology for me. And now he's dealing with Mikel Arteta, whom he groomed. So it's just psychology. This is a person who is 5 points behind Arsenal. This is a person who is in the title race. This is the team that actually looks like they can also take the league from Arsenal. And now he goes on to the media to say, we don't care about that. It's just psychology. He's just playing mind games. That's what they call it. He's playing mind games so that all these other teams and Arsenal will relate to say, no, City are not looking for the league. It's mind games, and Arteta is actually handling that very well. Whenever they will ask him that, you guys are sort of like going to win the league, you will see his poise, you will see his stance, you will see the way he answers. That is very smart. You don't go straight like this because you don't want the media to catch you in your own ways, and you don't want to put the pressure in the team as well. So for me, there's still a long way to go for Arsenal. There's still a long way to go. There's still a lot to play for. There's still a lot of points to play for, you know. But also this loss for Arsenal, for United, considering the fact that they dropped points against Crystal Palace, now they are coming to Arsenal to lose. You know, it puts us far. Now we are on number 4 behind Newcastle, of course by goal difference. So there's still a lot to play for. You know, if you're watching up to this point, that means you love what I'm doing, and I'd like to urge you also to subscribe. No, unfortunately, you can't subscribe twice because I know some of you have subscribed. But if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Comment on this video. Talk to me. Do you think Arsenal will win, or you think this is just a phase that will just pass by? talk to me. See you soon.